citizen to see you, Mr. Mayor.
Citizen? They're not allowed in here. This is public property.
Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants.
Hey guys, Rogue Nation here with you today, and we have got some updates for you. For those of you that watched my some of my latest audits last week, you know I went to the property appraiser's office, and the old lady there, she kind of freaked out on me, and one of the clerks seemed to have a negative attitude about me as well, so I requested her pay and her browser history. So we have that for us now, so we're going to take a look real quick and see what we got going here. Looks like it's an hourly employee, full-time. She's a public service representative. Public service, serving the public. Hire date was January of last year, and she makes $21.02 per hour. So about $21 an hour. Alright, now let's look at her browser history, which there's no big reveals here. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of this stuff is stuff that she would be doing in the course of her duties. So there's nothing really much interesting there. But I do want to point out that this public service representative, who's the front of the office lady there, has access to everyone's information in Florida via David. Now, a lot of people think that only the police can access David, and David in Florida is what they use, and it's the driver something and vehicle identification. Driver and vehicle identification system. I'm pretty sure that's what David stands for. And that has all your information, your name, your address, whatever would go into the system there, your driving record. So what's interesting to note, and I'm not sure how many people realize this, is just about everybody in government can access your David information. Right? And they say it's for confirmation of your information, address or name, birthdays, whatever. But that's out there. Anybody in the government can access your information, and she accesses it quite a lot. You can see David. We got some clerk here. We got David again. Some more David. Some more David, and this is all done in one day, right? And there's over 1,000 entries here on her timeline. As we go down, we can see we're in the 1,100, 1,200. Let's see if there's still stuff down here. Yeah, so over 1,200 entries this day. 1,300 entries this day. 1,400 entries this day. So it goes on. We're gonna hit 1,500. We're at 1,486. That looks like it's the end of the line. Time entry, clock, and out. So a lot of David, a lot of registrations, elections, check voter status. And again, this is just the lady at the front of the office. Everybody in that office can check your information. And probably at a lot of other agencies as well to quote unquote confirm, whatever. So I definitely wanted to bring this to you guys. When we get public records, we need to disseminate them to the public. And we should be requesting records that would show malfeasance or neglect or fraud or something of that nature, credit card records, financial records, but also timesheet records, browsing history records. What are these people doing, right, for their day? They're getting paid all this money. What are they doing for their day? What's a minute by minute breakdown of what's going on here, right? Are they doing 2-hour lunches, stuff like that? So alright guys, I'm gonna cut this part of the video off. We're gonna finish by watching a video a subscriber sent me, Just a Guy, and this is him talking to the council. I think it's an awesome video, and I think it's great that more people are getting up and getting out there and addressing their city and county commissions and letting them know that, you know, the old ways are gone. You know, the old slickster ways of the early 1900s of grift and corruption and, you know, paying officials off and giving kickbacks and all that other stuff. That's all coming to an end. Technology's moving forward. We're gonna take the power back. So alright guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video. Jump on over to Just a Guy, give him a like, a share, subscribe. He's a great dude. And we'll see you on the next one, guys, because there's always going to be a next one.
Now we come to the call to the public.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Attorney, Council, my words during this time are protected free speech, codified in the U.S. Constitution, the Arizona Constitution, and ratified in the courts under Beck v. City of Upland, Payne v. Pauley, Johnson v. Campbell, among others. You're on notice. I'm here to speak to the actions that happened at the last meeting. I want to remind you, Mr. Mayor, that this city council, I want to remind you, Mr. Mayor, this council, and more so the citizens they serve. And I'm going to do that through the eyes of Francis Scott Key, the great patriot who wrote our national anthem. You see, on September 13th in 1814, during the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key was negotiating the release of American soldiers with the British about 1,000 yards off the coast of Fort Henry. The British told Francis Scott Key that he would destroy Fort Henry if Americans did not capitulate and lay down the colors of that flag. The British followed through on that threat, and they bombed Fort Henry all night, direct hit after direct hit on that flag. And when Francis Scott Key went ashore the next morning, he found that flag at an unusual angle, but it had not fallen. You see, the reason it had not fallen was the bodies of patriots, the bodies of men, the bodies of sons and brothers and uncles. You see, what had happened was when that pole suffered a direct hit and one of the patriots died, more patriots raced out there to ensure that symbol did not fall. They did that amazing act of selfless sacrifice, not for themselves, but for the generations that would come after them. For they knew if that flag fell, freedom would be lost forever. It was because of those men, that I am able here to stand here today, a free man. And I owe my freedom to those men. It is because of those very men that you are a public servant and not a servant of a king or a dictator. Act like it and show them some damn respect. What you did, Mayor, was not only a disrespect to the men and women who held the flag that day at Fort Henry, but every man and woman who served and sacrificed this country since and then to come for the future. You were not a good human, sir, that day. You were not. And for the rest of City Council, you were just as complicit as I watched every one of you follow that tyrant, Mayor, out in the meeting and just, yes, to get out of there. In closing, it's we the people who tell you how we want to be governed. It's how we spend and how we want you to spend our money. You serve at our pleasure, and for some reason you forgot about the thousands and thousands upon patriots who gave their lives for freedoms so that flag wouldn't fall. Sir, you shit all over their sacrifice. Feelings? I don't care about your feelings. I care more about the blood of patriots than the feelings of a mayor who acted like a 5-year-old playing a mayor. Thank you for your time.